welcome to another episode of Hometown History. I'm your hometown historian, Stacy Johnson, and this week we're going to look at the historic buildings of St. Charles Parish, Louisiana. The focus of preserving historic buildings is important and an essential part of telling the story of the history of a place. Preservation of historic buildings is a one-way street, however, and there's no chance to renovate or to save a historic site once it's gone. It's important to note that we can never be certain what future generations might find to be valuable. Historians have the important work of locating and saving buildings like this because once these jewels of history are destroyed, they're lost forever. Unlike many modern cities, St. Charles Parish hasn't changed much in over 100 years. In terms of its architectural development, it hasn't changed in 75 years. It is a historic city and it has maintained its old buildings as a reminder of the parish's cultural complexity. According to Julia Rocky, writer for the National Trust for Historic Preservation, historic sites provide an aesthetic and cultural history that should be enjoyed by visitors along with residents. Sites like the infamous Home Place Plantation help maintain a sense of permanency and heritage, though controversial. Home Place Plantation House is located on the west bank of the Mississippi River at Hahnville in St. Charles Parish. It is a true Louisiana French colonial house, along with the Destrehan Plantation is among the very few of the larger examples left today. The house has the same plan as Destrehan Plantation, as well as many of the same structural details which seem to relate to the two houses. This two-story, hipped, and dorm roof building is 2 rooms deep and 4 across, all opening onto 16-foot gallery or veranda that surrounds the house. This feature of all openings functioning as doors as well as windows is not uncommon in the area where the climate made cross-ventilation and high ceilings a necessity. It is suspected that a slave named Charles Paquette, a master builder, was the builder of this home. The location has been a topic of debate for many years, however, as residents claim to descend from Native American tribe known as the Quinnipiac. Here is an image that depicts an event from 1862 when Rene Cavalier and Sieur de La Salle claimed the lands drained by the Mississippi River for France. As he passes through St. Charles Parish on his return trip upriver, La Salle is shown presenting his blue serge coat to the Quinnipiac Indian chief in present-day Hahnville in honor of their support. In 1699, the Quinnipiac joined with the Mublasha, and later they formed one village with the Bayukala. Descendants of these tribes, who were said to have dark brown skin, later blended with Germans in Kelowna and Africans in Hornville to create what is known as the German Coast. It is these descendants that have long since raised legitimacy of the land known as Home Place. Now let's go a little bit further down River Road to 544 Shaw Street to check out the Oddfellows Hall. This is one of the buildings that is nearest to my heart. The St. Charles Parish Grand Lodge 2842 Oddfellows Hall is located on the west bank of the Mississippi River in Hahnville. It is approximately 1 mile west of the parish seat and historic Home Place Plantation. The Oddfellows Hall is nestled in a quiet residential neighborhood. It is a simple 2-story wood frame rectangular building that was erected in 1899 by the St. Charles Grand Lodge Order of Oddfellows 2842. It replaced an earlier hall constructed in 1895. The building sits on a pier and beam foundation with brick piers, a mix of wood clapboard, and asbestos shingled siding, and corrugated metal roof. The building still contains cypress lumber, commonly used in the late 1800s and 1900s in Louisiana and St. Charles Parish. The home was constructed for the Oddfellows and Household Group organizations, which was founded before Reconstruction. St. Charles Grand Lodge 2842 is significant under the criterion A at the local level of areas of ethnic heritage and social history. Beyond its use as a meeting hall for the local Oddfellows and Household Group chapters, it serves as one of the only facilities in Hahnville that was available to African Americans for social functions and other activities in the first half of the 20th century. For this reason, the hall was a center of social life in Hahnville for the African American community throughout its period of its significance. This site is home to the legendary Month's Day Parade that takes place every year in celebration of the organization's founder, James Ogden. The parade is one of the longest running events in St. Charles Parish history. Now let's cross the river back over to the east bank to check out Destrehan Plantation. It's another famous attraction for visitors to the parish. The Historic Preservation Society has done a phenomenal job of renovating the building and holding regular events to support its upkeep. The home was beautifully designed by one of the most elusive free men of color, Charles Perquet, in 1787. The home was built in a West Indies style, well suited for Louisiana climate. Construction on the house began in 1787, utilizing materials from the swamp and river, and completed in 1790. Delani paid Charles Perquet in rice, corn, livestock, and 100 piastres of money, and a male slave named Olivia. The original contract between Delani and Charles Perquet still exists today and is on file with the St. Charles Parish Courthouse. Established in 1787 and listed on National Register of Historic Places, Destrehan Plantation remains to be the oldest documented plantation home in the lower Mississippi Valley. It is also the location of one of the bloodiest slave revolts in American history. In 1811, a group of African slaves, free blacks, and maroons from New Orleans, on direct orders from Saint-Domingue, marched from New Orleans to Mont in rebellion, leaving behind a slew of white victims. Records revealed that Perquet in 1808 was fined for harboring and embedding the very slaves that were responsible for the 1811 slave revolt. Abstracts of civil records from St. Charles Parish and St. John Parish from 1804 to 1812 verify a tribunal was held in Destrehan Plantation in 1811 that convicted 66 suspects who were shot and beheaded. The heads were placed on poles along River Road as a warning to revolutionary-minded black folks and were last insurrection recorded in the parish's history. Well, guys, I just want to thank you for coming along with this tour to meet the St. Charles Parish to see some of its most beautiful historic buildings. Remember, preservation of historic buildings is a one-way street, and there's no chance to renovate or to save a historic site once it's gone. It's also important to note that we can never be certain what future generations might find valuable. Historians have the important work of locating and saving buildings like these, because once these jewels of history are destroyed, they're lost forever. Thanks for joining me this evening. If you like this video and you want to see more, like and subscribe below. For continued conversations on this topic or request history.